to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you an NFL Week 1 preview between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Now let's take a look at the Seahawks in this game. Let's talk about their offense. One thing you want to do is take advantage of Tavares Jackson's mobility. Last time I checked, his last name is Jackson, so anybody last name Jackson has to be fast. Take advantage of his mobility. This guy can get outside the pocket, design bootlegs, design waggles. Take advantage of him to get outside the pocket. That's going to put pressure on that San Francisco 49ers defense. Also, I want to see Golden Tate's progression grow this game. We know they have two big, tall targets out there on the flanks in Mike Williams and also Sidney Rice. I look for Golden Tate to take advantage of being that solid third receiver role. He can do a lot of damage because he has great run after the catch skills and had an impressive preseason, so he has to take the next step. Also, the quick passing game. The San Francisco 49ers will come after the quarterback, and they will provide constant pressure throughout this ball game. The short and quick passing game will prove to be the neutralizer to that pressure. Defensively, you want to make San Francisco one-dimensional, guys. They're going to come in and try to run a football with Frank Gore and also run a football with Kendall Hunter. Make these guys one-dimensional. You want to make Alex Smith prove to be that #1 overall pick and beat you through the air. And also, I like the matchup between your defensive backs and their wide receivers. I think you guys have probably the best defensive backs in the NFC West going against some talented wide receivers. I like that matchup, guys. So if you guys can get pressure on the front end, I have full confidence that secondary will be able to come away with some plays, some batted balls, some interceptions. And also, I look at the matchup between Hill versus Davis. That's a matchup that Leroy Hill has to win. Get a bump on him. Make sure you don't allow Vernon Davis to have some success down the middle of your defense. Now, you look at the 49ers coming in. You have to have solid all-around balance. As much flack as Alex Smith is getting, he can be efficient, and that's all you need him to be. You don't need him to be a superstar. You need him to be efficient. Balancing the running game, balancing the passing game. He has a lot of weapons, so there's no excuse this year. So if they can have a solid all-around balanced offense, they can have some success and they can surprise some people. And they want to get the backs involved in the passing game. We know Frank Gore is an outstanding receiver out of the backfield. We also know Kendall Hunter is an outstanding receiver out of the backfield. Get these guys involved, and that's going to give Seattle something else to worry about other than just stopping the run. And you also want to dictate the pace of the game, guys. You control how fast or how slow you want to go. Control the tempo. You own that. You have the better chance to do so than Seattle. Defensively, constant pressure on Jackson will frustrate him and get him to get rid of that football quickly and give your defense the advantage. So you want to make sure you do not turn off the pressure throughout this ball game. But also, you can't lose contain as well, because we mentioned his ability to get outside the pocket. You have to make sure you contain, keep him bottled up, don't allow him to scramble around and gain first downs. And the safeties have to make sure they close well on those wide receivers, because they're tall targets. They can high point the football. Those safeties back there have to make sure they close in on those wide receivers and eliminate any chance to try to catch a pass or try to jump over the cornerback. So it's up to the safety spot to make sure they play adequate defense and covering those wide receivers, help protect these guys on the back end. Now let's look at some positional breakdowns in this game, see who has the edge position by position. Starting with the quarterbacks, I say it's an even matchup, guys. Tavares Jackson does some things well, as does Alex Smith. Both guys have sneaky mobility, not Jackson, but Smith does. So I say it's an even matchup. Both guys also can struggle throughout the ball game. Running backs, who has the best backs? I think the 49ers have that. Kendall Hunter is a star waiting to happen, and Frank Gore is already a star. So they have two superstar potentials in that backfield. I like the 49ers, what they bring to the table. The wide receiving core, I say it's even. Both guys have a lot of talent, man. This is a game where the wide receivers could take over because they have that type of talent. Getting Braylon Edwards for the 49ers was huge. Getting Sidney Rice for the Seahawks was tremendous. Best offensive line, I say the 49ers have the better offensive line. I'm still not sold on the young and inconsistent Seahawks line. I like what the 49ers bring to the table, which is why they're able to run the football with some effectiveness. Best defensive line, Seahawks have that. Getting Ray Bryant back this year is going to be huge. That guy is outstanding on the defensive end, and Clemens on the other side of him does a great job of getting to the quarterback. Best linebackers, anytime Pat Willis is involved, you have to go with him. Harrelson is another guy that I really like. So 49ers have the better linebacking core, I believe, so overall. Best secondary, Seahawks, guys. These guys have talented corners, ball hawking safeties, and the safeties also can knock the snot out of wide receivers. I like what I see out of the Seahawks. Best special teams. Both guys have solid special teams. Leon Washington on this side, Ted Ginn on this side. The coverage units are solid. So I think both teams have an equal special teams unit. The X factor for the Seahawks has to be Tavares Jackson mobility. He has to be able to get outside the pocket. Give the 49ers something added to worry about. For the 49ers, it's the pressure on that young offensive line of the Seahawks. If you guys can get pressure consistently, you're going to make things uncomfortable for Jackson and the rest of that Seahawks offense. I'm going with San Francisco in this game. I think they have the least amount of holes at any position. The only hole they really have is at the quarterback spot, but everywhere else, I think they're solid enough to get this ball game to get a victory. For the Seahawks, they have to come in and make sure they get a big play on special teams, but I like the 49ers overall. That's why I'm going with the Niners to win this ball game. For more NFL previews, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL or visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan. And listen to the Football Game Plan radio show, which airs Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.